Elaine, we have to start with this sad news that Nick Kyrgios unfortunately has pulled out with a knee injury. What was your initial reaction when you heard this?
Oh, I think we were all shocked and obviously disappointed that we're not going to see him in action this year, but it was something that he had to do. It was not good enough to go out there and compete and play, especially in the best of 5 sets in a Grand Slam where you potentially have to go through 7 matches. So, it's something that's clearly been around for a little while, which is what he's now said, and it looks like he has to have surgery, but he will be back by Indian Wells. So we do wish him all the best, as unfortunate as it is not to see him this year. So hopefully we'll get to see him next year.
Well, that bromance with Nick Kyrgios, it was rocky at times, but it is back on. Do you think that helps and that encourages more Aussie fans to get on board with Novak?
I think it does, and I think it's great as well because they've kind of gone full circle, haven't they?
Yeah.
And it was great to see. I think that sportsmanship in the Wimbledon final as well, and in that ceremony at the end also. And we've seen it throughout the whole year. We've seen it on social media, and how great was it to have them come out and play the exhibition match a couple of nights ago, get the kids involved as well. It was phenomenal, and I think that's what we want. Those are the stories that we want in tennis, and they're great. I think their relationship is really good now, and we want more of it, don't we?
He gave you a big rap in his post-match press conference, said he'll have to be very cautious of you. Is that nice to hear from a player of his calibre?
He kind of has to.
Yeah.
I think he would have got booed if he didn't. So, look, I hope that I built up a reputation of hopefully being a tough out. I'll leave it all out there, and if he's too good, he's too good. But I'll tell you what, I'm going to go in there knowing that it's 0-all on the scoreboard to start off with, not play anyone's reputation, and do what I can control and make it a real fist of it.
Casey, let's start with Andy Murray and that incredible 5-set win over Matteo Berrettini. How incredible was that to watch? It really doesn't get any better.
It actually doesn't, Emma. Like, it was a super special match, and I think for myself, who's been in tennis for many years, to witness a match like that from Andy, super special. I think for the fans and also people within tennis. He's so well liked, he's so well loved, and he's such a great advocate for our game in so many facets. So I think to see him out there fighting, I think for the younger generation, to see him giving it his all, picking up his rubbish after the match, all those little things really highlight the type of player Andy is. But from a tennis perspective, wow, what a win against Berrettini.
Vucevic, who looked like Thor.
Yeah, I think I'm just a little bit less muscles than him, so it was also to laugh about myself, because I must see the photo. I do think I have a little bit of muscles, but definitely not too much.
Now, he hasn't always been like that, but how good is it that Daniil Medvedev is starting to use that crowd and interact with them a bit more?
He's actually quite funny, so it's just kind of coming through now.
Yeah.
But that was phenomenal, and I think he's really good at making fun of himself as well. And it's great that he's doing it with the crowd, that we're seeing it in these post-match interviews as well. And I think it gives also the crowd and the fans and the tennis fans and his fans a bit of a more insight into who he is. So it's fantastic.
You can see it. It's written all over his face. It's about... He's had a rough time. You know, as a young player, he's burst out onto the scene. We talk about him a lot in the juniors, and he came up with Alex de Minaur, and they were both touted to be going so well. Alex has got in and further as a top 20 player way before Alexei, and Alexei's sitting watching him going, why me, why not? And last year was tough, and he's turned that around with hard work. He had to change his attitude. His attitude was not really great over the last 12 months. It was a bit of the why me's, and with some help from Xavier Malisse, he's been able to get positive again. And this match, these wins are springboards to him doing new things in tennis. It's getting into that top 50 in the world, and I'm really happy for him, and that's what you could see in those pictures.
But for now, it is time now for our TikTok moment of the day.
It's 10 out of 10. Perfection for Novak Djokovic.
And what about Linda Fruhvirtova
Yeah.
and her sister Brenda? So 17 and 15.
Yeah,
Do you
that's crazy.
think in a few years we'll see possibly two sisters, battling it out
I don't
to win
think
a Grand Slam.
Quite possible. Well, to win a Grand Slam, yes. I thought you were going to say we're going to see him battling it out pretty soon. There's no doubt. How rare is that to have two come along like that? Or is it as rare when you think about the Williams sisters? It's happened before, and these two are really incredible. I mean, what you know in tennis is when you get underneath into the players' area, the locker room, and you hear the chit-chat, everybody's talking about these two. A lot like they were about Carlos Alcaraz and Yannick Sinner about 3 years ago.
Well, it's been 20 years since one of the American men won a Grand Slam title in the singles. Without putting too much pressure on them, is there one that stands out for you that you think will be the most successful?
Look, I really love the game of Sebastian Korda. Fortunate enough to have called his match in commentary, and I think he'll be a new #1 soon. I think he'll be a Grand Slam champion soon. And the reason I say that is I love his disposition on court. He's incredibly calm, he's collected, but he's got the game to match. He loves to move forward. He took out Daniil Medvedev, who was quite comfortable in the surrounds of Rod Laver Arena, and just handled the situation so well.
What about a breakout star? Because we've seen the seeds fall everywhere, so there's plenty of them coming through.
Well, that's got to be Ben Shelton for me. The American, first time travelling out of his country, comes out and just plays an amazing match against Alexei Popyrin. Now, it was a great opportunity for both of them, but boy, was he good. I saw a young player where I'm in commentary going, well, maybe he can win a major. It's going to take a little bit more, but get him on grass, watch out Wimbledon.
So many unknowns, so many storylines to be written. Just finally, Todd Woodbridge yesterday here on the Morning Serve just couldn't stop raving about Rybakina in the women's draw. Tough one up against Ostapenko. Again, I'm going to put you on the spot, but if you had to pick one, how's this playing out?
Yeah, I think Rybakina. I thought she was immense against Iga Swiatek yesterday. I called the match. And just remember, she is the Wimbledon champion, hasn't really had the kudos that she deserves, but that performance, and she is a technically superb player, very modest. I want to get to know her a little better, but yeah, I mean, two very different personalities. You've got Ostapenko performing and strutting about the court, and then you've got Rybakina, who's tall but is as quiet as a mouse out there. I mean, it's going to be a fascinating contest in terms of their personality.
I know I'm making you pick a lot of the winners here, but has the best chance to go on and win it on Saturday?
Well, look, I think Pegula is looking good, but obviously in this part of the draw, I think I'm going to go with Sabalenka. I think Sabalenka's the standout for me.
Yeah, well, there's so many storylines to be written, and from what we've seen already, there have been upsets galore, so really who knows what will happen.